from Metamora Township High School, Clutch Sports Media is proud to present Mid-Illini Conference Soccer. Tonight, a rivalry unlike any other in Central Illinois. It's the Washington Panthers taking on the Metamora Redbirds. Good evening, everybody, and thanks for joining us alongside Matt Harrington. I'm Larry Larson, and Matt, anytime you get a Washington-Metamora rivalry, the stakes are always higher, and especially this year when there's no postseason soccer.
Yeah, absolutely, Larry. Any sport, whether it be football, baseball, you name it. I mean, Metamora and Washington always seem to bring the best out of each other, and the competitiveness is at an all-time high. And so very much looking forward to this matchup this afternoon.
Metamora enters this one at 6-1-3. And Washington enters this one at 6-5-2. We'll take a brief pause for our national anthem. It's almost time for soccer here at Metamora. Thanks for joining us once again. Matt, before we break down the starting lineups here for both these sides, it's a closely contested Mid-Illini conference this year. We were talking to head coach Sheridan Ray for Metamora beforehand, and he said this matchup could really solidify a chance at a conference title for either one of these teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Both these teams, Larry, only with one loss each in conference play, and anytime that you can go through the conference schedule with only one loss, it's a good sign of things to come. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. Both these teams still have a shot at winning the conference title.
Metamora enters this one 3-1-0. Washington at 3-1, 3-1-0. Either way you want to say it. Enter this one with the same record. And Matt, there's obviously always history between Washington and Metamora, but you look at the recent history. Last season, I should say, very closely contested between these two squads. Washington beat the Redbirds in the Mid-Illini Conference season, but then the Redbirds got them in regionals.
Yeah, they did get them in regionals, Larry, and that was a game that we were talking to head coach Sheridan Ray that there was a lot of intensity at that game. Obviously, you're going to get that anytime two rivals come out against each other, and so that rivalry aspect, of course, will be renewed here tonight, and I think either way you look at it, this is going to be a fun one.
Can't wait. We're almost ready for kickoff here. Beautiful soccer facility here at Metamora High School. Thanks to Jared Hart for having us out here. Great hospitality. Let's break down the starting lineups. First for the visiting Washington Panthers. You see them on the left side of your screen in their traveling white kits. It'll be Tyler Ray starting in goal. Ty Mosbach, Cameron Grund, Matt Lawless, Parker Shuttleworth, Mitch Coughlin, Justin Mitten, Eddie Pappas, Grant Woods, William Knight, and Colton Burrow to round it out for the Panthers. And for Metamora, starting in goal, Logan Fitz. Landon Porch starts at midfield. Calvin Haynes, Haynes also on defense. Carson Jones, Hunter Rodell, Jeff Bates, Brendan Porch, Will Wygand, Bryce Calden, Alex Shearer, and Harry Hawkbaker round out the starting lineup for Metamora, and we are underway. Washington sets up its attack, trying to work towards midfield. The pass is picked off by Porch. Matt, how important is it to come out and set the tone early on here?
Oh, it's extremely important, Larry. I think, either side wants to do that early on, and we'll see if Metamora can maybe get things started here with possession.
They regain possession here. Set it up in the backfield for Hawkbaker. Slide tackle there as Calden hits the ground.
Well, we're seeing some of that aggressiveness early on, Larry, from Washington. We were talking with head coach Joe Waters, and one of the names he mentioned was Mitch Coughlin, a guy that's really going to get out there and, like you mentioned, set the tone for the Panthers.
That battle in the middle is going to be so key for both sides. And Matt, you mentioned our conversation with Coach Waters, but our conversation with Sheridan Ray largely focused on some of those players in the middle for Metamora. Hunter Rodell.
Yeah, Rodell's a guy that's going to go all over the field is what head coach Sheridan Ray was telling us. And so we'll keep an eye on him certainly throughout this contest.
Washington on the attack now. Coughlin out in front with it. Into the box. Redbirds try to clear it, and they do.
That was Grant Woods there, Larry, on the attack for Washington, and made a nice little move, but unfortunately for him, the Metamora defense was right there to clear that away and get things going on the other end.
Redbirds will try and set something up for themselves here. Bounces over the head of Shearer. Throw in for Washington here. Knight tosses it in. The ball has really remained around midfield for most of the early goings in this one.
Yeah, just a one scoring chance so far for Washington, and like you mentioned, that's pretty much all we've had.
Brendan Porch battles for it in the middle. The junior passes to his left to Shearer. Now back to Porch. Intercepted by Washington. Pappas kicks it ahead, and Coughlin tries to chase it down and rolls out the sideline.
Again, we're seeing Washington go to Coughlin early on here, Larry, and we're going to keep an eye on him certainly throughout the course of this game.
Mitch Coughlin starting on varsity as a sophomore. Joe Waters describes him as an exciting young player. Will be a staple for the Panthers moving forward these next few seasons.
Yeah, anytime you can get one of your top players as an underclassman, it's certainly a good sign of things to come for this Washington program.
Eddie Pappas as we get a whistle. That'll be a free kick coming up for Washington.
Yeah, that was Landon Porch there for Metamora, one of the midfielders, and he's the only sophomore on the team as well for this Metamora team, which is a very senior-heavy team as well, some juniors, but only one underclassman, and that's Landon Porch, who you just saw right there on your screen.
William Knight tries to send it into the box. It's going to be a chance here for the Panthers. Grund. And the ball is sent over goal.
Good-looking shot from Ty Mosbach, but unfortunately for him, just a little off target. But you know, if you're Washington, Larry, you got to like the way you started. You've had all the scoring chances so far, and they've been setting the tone early.
Nice header from Knight. Grund is with it. Sends it up front for Pappas. Battle for the ball there as it rolls out of the sideline. Quickly played in. It's into the box and gobbled up by Logan Fitz, the 3-year starter.
Yeah, very athletic goalie is what head coach Ray was telling us, and we'll see if we get to see him a lot tonight. He hasn't had too much so far.
Now Metamora on the other side of midfield. Not much of a chance there. William Knight is with it. Dances around. It's knocked to the ground. Redbirds get possession back. Beautiful night for soccer in Metamora. Thanks for joining us on ClutchSportsIL.com. It's been Washington with most of the offensive chances early on in this one. William Knight races out. A lot of contact. Matt, we talked about it earlier. That's what you come to expect.
Yeah, this has been a very aggressive game so far for both teams, and William Knight unfortunately just couldn't get to that pass, and It was a good play by him, though, certainly to try and get something going for Washington.
Hunter Rodell, free kick. Header from Washington. Ball stays at midfield.
Could hear head coach Joe Waters telling his team to settle down a little bit here early on, Larry, but now they're attacking.
Early chance. Mitch Coughlin into the box. Overshoots the goal. Matt, that's about as good of a chance as you're going to get. And Coughlin just sailed it a little too high.
Yeah, I really like that idea by Coughlin getting to the net there, showing off his speed, but as you mentioned, just a little too high there, and certainly an opportunity blown for the Panthers.
Kick from inside the box. Now the Redbirds send it out of the sideline. They'll have a chance to throw it in. Landon Porch right there and sends it to a teammate. There's Porch with it now. Weaves his way through defenders, sends it into the box, and on the other side of the goal.
We're going to be seeing a lot of the Porch brothers here tonight. Larry Landon Porch and Brennan Porch, and one's a junior, the other a sophomore, and so both of them making an impact here early on.
Both those Porch brothers at midfield. That's what Coach Ray was telling us a lot about, Matt. And anytime you talk about siblings on a team, it creates an interesting dynamic, but especially when they play in the same area of the field in soccer, that's got to figure to make your team stronger.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, obviously I'm sure they spend a lot of time together, and if you can make that translate on the field as well, it's certainly a good sign.
William Knight swings the leg. Good job by Metamora to not let anything materialize off that kick. Cameron Grund with it. Sends it ahead to Coughlin, doesn't get to it. Mossbach tries to fight for it. Now Landon Porch sends it ahead to Brandon Porch. Brendan Porch comes up a little lame there as the Panthers regain possession. Matt, I do want to point out one weather condition that might not be ideal for us broadcasters up here in the booth is the sun shining directly into our eyes. And sometimes you see soccer games on fields with lights, and that is the case here in Metamora. And I think the sunset is going to have any effect on this one?
I think it could, Larry, for sure. You know, obviously you mentioned, though, it's been a beautiful evening for soccer. We both got our sunglasses on here. I'm not complaining about it. I'm enjoying it, but yeah, we'll see if it does have any effect later on.
You can never complain about getting out and seeing a little soccer. Landon Porch battles for it, and the Panthers will toss it in. Matt, a lot of play has revolved right around the sidelines these last few minutes.
Yes, it has, and I think that's part of the reason you're hearing both these coaches, head coach Sheridan Ray for the Metamora Redbirds and Joe Waters for the Washington Panthers, being vocal. And they know, obviously, a lot easier to talk to your players when they're close by rather than across the field. So see how that affects this game.
Big boot from Metamora keeper Logan Fitz there. Nice play by Mossbach to keep it in play. Grund tries to go across the pitch. Now Metamora. Alex Shearer sends it ahead. Wegand can't make the play.
Ball movement's been pretty good here, Larry, early on from the Redbirds, and we'll see if they can finally get something going for their offense. Their defense has been keeping them in this game so far.
Haynes passes ahead to Shearer. To Porch in the midfield. Now Washington will try to send it across to the other side of midfield. No dice. Porch. Matt, one thing that we mentioned a lot in the early going was Washington getting a lot of opportunities. Metamora really not putting any pressure on Washington and their keeper, Tyler Ray.
No, they're not. I think they'd certainly like to get an opportunity going here maybe.
Broadcaster jinx perhaps, and sent just wide. It was a great look for Alex Shearer, and he sent it just wide of the right post. See, he gives the thumbs up there. But, boy, it was close.
Close indeed, Larry. I thought that one was going in for sure, and we saw it happen at the other end with Mitch Coughlin for Washington. So both these teams have had a prime scoring opportunity early.
Metamora trying to make something happen again. They send it up front for Wegan. Very fast player, explosive speed for him on the attack. Now Washington shows off its speed as Grund jets ahead. Sent to the other side for William Knight. And Grund can't get to the pass. Battle for the ball on the sidelines. Nice play was made by Landon Porch. And we'll have a substitution as Alex Shearer, senior attacker, heads to the bench, and Levi Hernandez, the junior midfielder, comes in for the Redbirds.
And we'll see what Hernandez can do for Metamora here.
It's Washington on the attack. Out of the substitution, sent in over the goal. Grund tried to make a play on it, but Logan Fitz was able to get to it for the Redbirds.
Coughlin again was the one that set up that opportunity, and you have to feel like at some point Larry Coughlin's just going to break through one of these times and make a big play to get Washington on the board, but he's been standing out to me so far.
And we get a whistle. Redbirds will get possession here. A little too much contact for the officials' liking there. A lot of jostling, a lot of grabbing going on.
A lot of jostling in this game, Larry.
Hunter Rodell sends it upfield. Brendan Porch cross to Levi Hernandez. Going to try from long range. Deflected by Tyler Ray, but another shot on goal for the Redbirds.
I really like that play by Hernandez, Larry. You know, he didn't really have a prime lane to try and enter and get a goal, but he throws something on net, and the Metamora bench obviously likes that a lot, and so we'll see if he can keep that up.
Push from behind. We'll keep possession with the Panthers. Coughlin was shoved to the ground there. William Knight, the senior, will get the free kick.
Knight's another player, Larry, that stood out to me in this game. His speed has proved to be a factor early on, and he's got an opportunity to start things off again for Washington.
Sends it right in on goal. A nice play by Logan Fitz to come out and make the grab.
That thing had a lot more power than I thought it would. So
the wind was helping it out a little bit.
Yes, it was.
There's Knight again. You've seen his big leg. Now it's Levi Hernandez with it. For the Redbirds, Landon Porch ahead to Wigand. Sends it into the box. Panthers need to try and clear it out, and they do. Rolls out of the sideline. And a brief sigh of relief for Washington.
Well, we've seen William Knight on the offensive end for Washington, and maybe just saved a goal there, clearing that one out of bounds for the Panthers. So nice job by him to cover both ends of the field.
We get a whistle. That does not go Metamora's way.
First half's flying by, though, Larry. This thing has had a good pace to it so far, and you know, I haven't seen a ton of scoring chances, but you can tell, obviously, that these teams are very evenly matched.
Both teams have come out and had a number of opportunities. Not countless, of course, but Great recoveries by both defensive sides. Started with a number of Washington chances, and now recently Metamora has had the momentum in terms of offense.
A little too much contact again there, Larry, from Metamora, who certainly I feel has stepped up the aggression a little bit these last few minutes.
Officials call that one out of the sideline, so I think that was the call there. Or it'll be a free kick. You're right, Matt. What do you know?
Hard to see with the sun right in your eyes. I see you holding up that paper.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do, man. You got to battle the elements.
I can tell you that some of the Clutch Sports Media team has seen worse.
Ball sent into the box. Grant Woods tried to make a play on it, and a whistle. This time goes Metamora's way. Yeah,
Metamora had just a swath of players there, Larry, right in the box, and lucky for them, they're able to get it out.
Hernandez with it. Saw pressure from Grund. Porch sends it ahead to Porch. Will Wegan with it into the 18-yard box. Back to Hernandez. Wegan tries to put a little something on that, and it doesn't work out.
A lot of contact there, Larry, on that one.
It's a recurring theme, contact, a lot of physical play.
Eddie Pappas was the one that went flying for a minute. Good to see he's all right, though.
William Knight will send it into the jet stream. See if the wind plays a factor with this one, Matt. Do feel it blowing into the box. Puts a good boot on this one, and it rolls right into the hands of Logan Fitz. Mitch Coughlin was up there ready to try and make a play on it, but it didn't materialize.
And once again, though, Larry, you see he's right front and center of the Washington attack.
Grant Woods. Eddie Pappas into the box. Once again scooped up by Fitz.
Tough to get anything going there. Again, that Metamora defense has been really solid in this game, and see it on full display right there.
Battle at midfield. Favors Ty Mosbach, and big collision.
Ouch. That one looked
that
like
one's
it
got
hurt.
A lot of two players heading opposite directions and colliding there. Injured Redbird is Brendan Porch.
Yeah, that did not look good at all, Larry. And the Panthers, for the Panthers, it looked like it was Ty Mosbach. But Porch just, that looked like he's in a lot of pain, obviously. But tough situation. Good to see he's able to walk it off.
So he will be subbed out of the game. Griffin Hammond will come on in relief. Number 19 in red. Redbirds with the opportunity for a free kick here.
Yeah, we'll see what they can get going. So most of the play the past few minutes has been stuck in their end, and a lot of the first half as well.
Sent into the box and out of play.
20 minutes left in the first half, Larry, and I think for Metamora, this is really an opportunity for them to try and turn the tide a little bit here, see what they can do.
Ball sent right past our camera. Matt, you think we're going to get a foul ball, so to speak, up here? You think that's a possibility?
Oh, it's definitely a possibility, Larry. I don't know if it'll happen, but yeah, I
hope
can
you're
tell
ready.
Oh, I'm ready. I don't know if the camera is, but
Francisco Alonso, our cameraman, he better be ready with those hands.
He'll handle it, I'm sure.
I don't know if Francisco played any keeper back in his soccer days, but I sure hope so. Porch to Hernandez. Tried to get it back to Porch. And now Hammond. Head to Porch, and he sends it well over the net.
That was still one of the best strikes we've seen in this game, Larry, for Metamora and Landon Porch. But again, it's just a couple things for both these teams. It's just the accuracy has seemed to struggle a little bit. We saw both teams have a couple of good chances early, but Landon Porch, again, another chance for the Redbirds. Just can't bury it.
Jacob Crumweed checks into the game for Metamora as Wegand heads to the bench. So both coaches, or Metamora, excuse me, with all the substitutions in this game. Coach Sheridan Ray cycling his bench in there a little bit. Washington on the attack. Ben Tate puts one on net.
Oof.
A great look. Excuse me, that looked like Parker Shuttleworth. That one sent just wide.
Yeah, well, you saw Fitz there with the diving effort, and it went a little wide, but that was the toughest play that he's had to make in this game. And again, it went wide, but you see that athleticism on display there.
Sent to midfield. Landon Porch. And Levi Hernandez. Mossbach is roughed up a little bit.
I don't know about that one, Larry. A little contact, but obviously the ref has a better position than we do. But again, I like the aggressiveness from Landon Porch there.
William Knight sends it away. Right about to the 18-yard line. And Metamora make sure there's no chance there. Levi Hernandez sends it ahead, looking for a teammate, but there's no teammate there. Parker Shuttleworth ahead to Ben Tate. Tate the junior. Back behind him to Mossbach, who sends it ahead. Mitch Coughlin not able to make a play.
See the defense there of Harry Hawbaker, the senior, stepping up to make a really fundamentally sound play there for Metamora.
It'll be a corner kick, Matt.
First one of the game.
Big opportunity for the Panthers. Cameron Grund, the junior. Set to kick it away. A little too strong. That one just sailed on him, Matt.
Yeah, it did. I can tell he obviously was not aiming that far away, and fortunately for him, it just went too far, and now they have a throw in here.
William Knight gets a running start. Send in on the box. Great play by Pappas, and another Redbird down on the turf.
I can't quite tell who that is, Larry, but it was an awkward landing on the field there, but looks like everybody's okay, so we'll keep playing on.
Metamora now will look to put the pressure on Washington after the Panthers have had a few opportunities. Ball sent around midfield, and that one signaled out of the sideline.
Hard to see, Larry, with the
It
sun
is.
right in your eyes there, especially when they're on the complete opposite side of
Maybe
where
I
we
should
are.
have brought the binoculars, Matt.
Might have been a good idea. Maybe next time.
Bring them out for football games, but not for football games.
Tell you what, though, Larry, it has turned out to be a gorgeous
Oh, man.
night.
Couldn't ask for better conditions for any sport.
Yeah.
Heck, give me some basketball outside.
Little street ball action.
It's going to be baseball and softball season. Those games starting up in the IHSA tomorrow. Now the Metamora Redbirds are in action against Bloomington. Washington getting started this weekend against U-High. here on the pitch. Shuttleworth tries to send it ahead. That one is deflected off the head of Levi Hernandez. Washington with throw-in. Shuttleworth looking for Ben Tate. Now it's with Grant Woods. Woods trying to make something happen. And it's deflected deep into the pine trees. But how about Grant Woods, Matt, really just making something happen?
Yeah, he really put on the Jets there to try and make that play happen. And that's what you like to see if you're Washington on the sidelines. And that's been one of the better chances that Washington has had in this game. And now they'll have corner kick number 2 here.
Cameron Grund once again. Tried to send it a little shorter. This time it's a little more accurate, just over the head of Mitch Coughlin. Matt, that was almost perfect.
Almost perfect indeed, Larry. Of course, going for Coughlin. And now some more substitutions here for Metamora. Looks like Brennan Porch, Will Wiegand, and Alex Schreier will come back in for the Redbirds.
Brendan Porch is okay. If you were with us a few minutes ago, you saw him go down in some pain. Good to see him back in the match. Mossbach tries to play it at midfield. Into the possession of Metamora. Not anymore. Shuttleworth ahead. Mitch Coughlin. Now to Woods. Quick moving sophomore. Woods, excuse me, the junior. Coughlin with it. He's the sophomore. Tries to put a strike on, and it's wide right.
Well, it seems, Larry, so far in this first half that we've seen a lot of shots from Washington that have been outside the box, and they just have not been able to get past that wall, so to speak, of Metamora. And we'll see if they can maybe change that here the last 12:45 of this first half, or if that will continue.
In case you're just joining us on ClutchSportsIL.com, it's a battle between Mid-Illini Conference rivals. Metamora and Washington both enter this one with the same 3-1 record in conference. Ample opportunities on offense for both teams, but no goals to this point. Landon Porch tries to send it ahead. Not if William Knight has anything to do about it. That time rolls out of the sideline off of Knight. So the Redbirds will have the opportunity to toss it in here.
Keep an eye on Alex Schreier here, Larry, on the left side of your screen. Thinking maybe Metamora will try and go to him if they get an opportunity.
Calvin Haynes with it. Passes it off to Landon Porch, excuse me.
Looks like we'll have a goal kick here.
Metamora couldn't make anything happen there. Substitution for Washington. Shuttleworth comes out, and Eddie Pappas comes in.
Yeah, Shuttleworth had a nice little sequence there on the field for Washington, and we saw him start and come out and then back in and out again. But he's been good so far for the Panthers.
Get a whistle as Metamora tries to make something happen. And it'll be a free kick set up for William Knight.
And we're about 11 minutes left here, Larry. And again, we've kind of seen throughout most of this first half, Washington's had the chances. Metamora's been playing great defense, and possibility maybe for Washington to get one in here before the halftime break.
As the sun begins to set on the horizon. Sun setting on the first half. Metamora working on something here. Nice play by Mossbach to get it out of the offensive zone. And a call right around midfield.
You can tell the aggressiveness has stepped up a little bit here the past few minutes. Both these teams want to get on the board before halftime, and Mitch Coughlin, just a little bit too much there on that one, so foul is called, and we'll have a free kick here for the Redbirds.
Hunter Rodell puts the leg on it. Opportunity for the Redbirds inside the box. Nice defensive play from Washington. Matt, that was Ben Tate in there to break up that shot. He's in a little pain, but it was worth it.
It was worth it, and I talked about keep an eye on Alex Shearer there, and unfortunately for him, just couldn't get it through, but a prime opportunity there for Metamora.
It'll be their first corner kick. Alex Shearer, the senior attacker, sends it into the box and sent away by the Panthers. Redbirds send it back to the other side of midfield. Finds the foot of Cameron Grund. It's Ben Tate. Metamora trying to make something develop. Good battle right around midfield and sent out of the sideline. Looks like it'll stay with Metamora.
And Matt Lawless getting aggressive there on the defending and took a tumble. Looks like he's all right, but nice job by him to step up and make that play.
Officials send Alex Shearer over a bit before he tosses it in. Landon Porch tries to get it into the box. Was looking for Hernandez. Porch again. Patient. Patience doesn't pay off there. Nice play by Rodell, the defender. Gets it into the hands of the midfielder, Porch. And he sends it well wide of the goal.
Like the idea by the Redbirds. It's just not too much accuracy on that shot there, so chance for a goal kick. So we wind down in this first half, 7:35 remaining.
Matt, that looked a little bit like your golf drive sometimes.
Oh, man.
Kept the club face a little too open.
Man, I didn't know we were taking shots at each other here tonight.
I wasn't sure whether or not to relate that to my golf shot or your golf shot, but I decided to take a shot at you. Metamora wants a few more shots on goal. Landon Porch gets it off to Brendan Porch. He's looking for his brother. Now Washington sends it ahead. There you see the speed from Mitch Coughlin into the box. Coughlin was looking for a call. He got knocked down right around the 18-yard box.
Yeah, I think that should have been called, Larry. I mean, he took a big tumble, and from my vantage point up here, it looked like that should have been a free kick there for Washington. Tough play, obviously, for the referee to blow the whistle on because it's so close to the box area. But I don't know. I think you certainly could have made a case that that play should have been blown dead.
Could have gone either way, as they say. But no less, Panthers get a call here, so it's a free kick forthcoming for William Knight. Called Knight's name a lot. Sends that one into the box. Header, real chance for Washington. Still in the box, cleared by the Redbirds.
Oh, man, that felt like it was going to be goal number one, but a great job by Metamora to clear it out. Almost for Washington.
They might get another chance here, but looked like that, and now a whistle.
Yeah, Landon Porch doesn't like that call, but he used the hand to separate himself from the Washington player, and that was the right call by the official to blow it dead.
Now another kick for William Knight. We saw what happened with that last time. You see the Redbirds setting up a fence. The officials send them backwards a little bit. Now Brandon Porch will head back towards the box. Landon Porch still there. And the kick is sent into the parking lot.
See ya. That thing had some power on it as well.
Get that man on the football field.
Yeah, no kidding. Kick some field goals at that thing. But, no, hey, I like the idea again by Washington, and you see the leg from William Knight. That could be come in handy later on as we get further into this match.
Redbirds with a short goal kick. They try to work it across midfield, under 5 minutes, under 4.5 minutes in the first half. Certainly has not been a boring game. Lots of chances for both sides. One developing here. Right alongside the sideline, William Knight. And it's bumped out of the sideline. Redbirds with a throw-in.
Almost gave it away
Yeah,
there, Larry.
bad pass. Got to watch those mistakes. Maybe something developing for the Panthers here. Eddie Winkler, sophomore, getting some playing time here. Mitch Coughlin trying to dance around defenders. Can't avert one there. Open space in front of Brendan Porch, closes up.
And certainly one Rodell would like to have back, Larry. He had some space to work with and just misfired on that pass.
Big boot from William Knight. In on the hands of the keeper.
Whew.
Now the Redbirds defenders have to step up and play keeper of sorts there. Could have been disastrous. A lot of contact on the other side now. The pace starts to pick up at the end of the first half. Cameron Grund, Eddie Pappas. Now it's Mitch Coughlin inside the box. A lot of contact there, no whistle. Pappas right by the sideline.
Oh, look out.
And oh, man. Redbird took that one to the head. The action continues. Header still inside the box. Redbirds try to send it out. Good hustle from Alex Shearer to put an end to that sequence. Washington still with an opportunity. Nice shot by William Knight. He's looking for a teammate inside the box. Good play by Logan Fitz to come out and grab it.
Boy, how about that sequence, Larry? Just wild. We had somebody get drilled in the face with the ball. We
Lots
kept
to unpack
playing,
there.
and yeah, all sorts of stuff.
And that time we get a whistle. Looks like Justin Mitten got knocked to the ground. And he will take the free kick.
Goal here would do a lot of wonders, Larry, for Washington heading into the half. Only a minute 37 left, so but they've got time and a chance to do something.
William Knight, the line drive kick. Gets all the way to the goal.
Fitz looked like he was buried pretty deep there in the back of that huddle and was able to find it all the way. Good job by him to make the stop.
Chance developing for Metamora. Jeff Bates had it taken away. Collision near the circle. Redbirds get it back. A big boot well over the net from Brendan Porch.
Good opportunity, though, for Metamora, and you can hear both sides being a little bit more vocal here to try and close out the half.
Head coach Sheridan Ray walking his team through that last possession. Shot on goal. Knocked down by Tyler Ray.
Well,
nice strike there from Jeff Bates.
Yeah, both keepers have had a little trouble handling the ball, Larry, in this first half. We saw it on the long kick up for the Metamora keeper, Logan Fitz, and then at the other end as well.
Washington trying to make something happen in the final seconds of the half. Redbirds defense sends it downfield. Jack Wynn sends it out of the sideline. 5-4-3. Redbirds need a buzzer beater, and they're not going to get one. Still in a scoreless draw, headed to the half.
A good half overall, Larry, for both teams. You know, you can tell the intensity is there. Obviously, rivalry matchup, maybe one of the best, if not the best, in the Mid-Illini Conference. And again, we saw both teams have some scoring chances. And, you know, right now you feel like both teams are knocking on the door of getting a goal. It's just, unfortunately, for both of them, nothing going there in that first half. But we have 40 more minutes to try and decide a winner here.
Floodgates have not opened yet for the offenses, and who's to say they will? Matt, we've seen a lot of timely, good defensive play for both teams.
Yeah, in particular, what stood out to me is Metamora's defense. They have sort of created a wall, so to speak, around keeper Logan Fitz. Not a lot getting through to him, and when they do get to him, he's been making the stops that he needs to keep this game scoreless. So he's been really strong overall.
We will step aside for a short break here at the half. Thanks for joining us on ClutchSportsIL.com. Mid-Illini Conference Soccer, scoreless between Metamora and Washington. Welcome back to Clutch Sports Media's presentation of Mid-Illini Conference Soccer. Scoreless draw between Washington and Metamora. It's Larry Larson alongside Matt Harrington. And Matt, scoreless draw on the scoreboard, but I want to see the shots on goal because there were a number of them.
There were a number of them, Larry. Both teams had some good opportunities in that first half. And, you know, we'll see how these teams adjust, of course. This being a rivalry game certainly has an aspect to it as well. So, yeah, both teams had some good chances, and I'm looking forward to the second half.
Matt, what do you think the key to the rest of this match is for both sides? Because obviously, you know, sometimes that mental fatigue can sneak in. You can get a little tired, and, you know, especially when you have those chances and they don't go your way.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you mentioned the mental fatigue. I was walking to the bathroom and heard the Metamora coaching staff kind of preaching that message about, hey, you know, this is a long game. Let's not give in, and we're going to finish out strong. Obviously, soccer is one of those sports that has some of the longest time on the field, and these players cover a lot of ground. So certainly you want to finish out strong. I think for Washington, the key is just let's keep pressing and keep getting shots towards the nets. And, you know, I thought they did a good job of that in the first half for Metamora. I think maybe just step it up a little bit, be a little bit more aggressive in the offensive end. They had their chances as well, so we'll see how it turns out. But both teams, I think, are in a good position to try and sneak out a win here. 10 minutes or so, and it shouldn't be a problem any longer.
The lights will take full effect here at the soccer field at Metamora High School. One of a handful of schools in the area to have their own soccer pitch rather than just the football field. Nice touch.
Well maintained, it looks like, too. Nice surface here.
Redbirds looking to sneak inside the box. Will Wegand sends it back out. Shot blocked. And it'll be offside.
We'll see how Washington responds here to start this second half. Of course, they had some really good looks, especially in the last 5 or 10 minutes of that first half.
Line drive kick from William Knight. Eddie Pappas in the circle, and the pass is picked up by Metamora. Brendan Porch sends it out of the sideline. So Washington will have the throw in.
A lot of inbounds passes to start this second half, Larry.
Yes, the as they would say in basketball, sideline out of bounds plays.
Hard to see, obviously, with that sun right in our eyes, and not sure if the
gotta employ the rosters here.
That's
as
right.
A visor.
Not sure if the viewers at home can see any better than we can.
Thanks for joining us tonight on Clutch Sports Media. Bring you a little Mid-Illini Conference soccer for the first time. Shot on goal, sails over. Great opportunity for Grant Woods there. Tried the chip shot. Matt, just a little too much air underneath it.
Yeah, Grant Woods would certainly like to have that shot back, and that was probably the best Washington chance we have seen since early in that first half. And, you know, those are the kinds of things that if you're Grant Woods, you know, you'd like a second opportunity at that, but a lot of game left.
Panthers might have another chance here. Sent ahead to Woods. And Metamora's keeper, Logan Fitz, gets to it first. Out of the sideline right underneath us.
Woods was ready for that one, though, too. I mean, he wanted to try and force it to the nets, and just got it again here.
Justin Minton. Now Shuttleworth. Just in front of the box. Coughlin. Now into the box. Coughlin, the strike. Goes across the box. Too strong.
Oh, man, that was, you know, I talked about we saw one of the best scoring chances earlier, but that one was even better there for Coughlin. And, again, it seems like Washington is just knocking at the door right now. And, unfortunately for them, just couldn't get it to find the back of the net. But pressure has been really good, setting the tone early on in the second half.
Washington with all the opportunities in the early goings here. It's a little bit like the first half. See if Metamora can respond. Great play there by Pappas. And now the ball is sent nearly off the side of the press box. Matt, I know you were watching that one intently.
You know, I'm kind of hoping we get one up here, Larry, just for
don't say that.
Some action, you know, liven up the broadcast a little bit, and we'll see. I mean, we've had a couple that have come close, but nothing so far that's landed in the press box, which I must say is a beautiful view up here.
Great soccer facility here at Metamora Township High School. Good play by Landon Porch. Break it up in front of the box. Washington retains possession. Shuttleworth. Mossbach tries to find the box. It's turned away. Mossbach again. Woods tracks it down. Dances around the defender. And the Redbirds are able to clear it out. Washington able to keep it on the Redbirds' half of the field.
Nice play there, Larry, defensively from Colton Burrow, number 23 for Washington. Looked like it was going to be a 2-on-2 the other way, but Burrow came in and kept that on the defensive side.
There you see the quickness from Metamora's Will Wegan. We talked to head coach Sheridan Ray about that speed. He told us that he might be one of the quickest players on the field tonight. We've seen that at times, not all on the offensive end, mainly on the defensive end. We'll see if that pays off with any offensive opportunities for the Redbirds.
Yeah, a lot of these players on these two teams have shown us their speed here this evening.
Redbirds working on something here. Brendan Porch puts it on net. Stopped by Tyler Ray.
One aspect, Larry, that I've noticed has been really good for Metamora to start this half has been their passing. Seems like they're really connecting well with each other and moving the ball as they like so far.
Almost a great pass there, a little too far out of the reach of Porch. Back at midfield with Carson Jones. Brendan Porch. A strike, once again, fielded by Ray. Hurls it out to Woods. Now Washington jostles for position. Coughlin into the box. Left-footed strike. Not able to get on net.
And Coughlin trying to split the two defenders there for Metamora and got slowed down a little bit, which prevented him from getting the shot that he would like to take. But it's still a good job by him to get into the box and try and get something to happen for the Panthers.
That one will sail out of the sideline right to some fans sitting in the lawn chairs. Nice amount of spectators out tonight, Matt, and why not? You got to bring the blankets, but it's not too bad.
No, not bad at all. Beautiful night for some soccer. Like you mentioned, a little chilly, but it has turned out to be a very nice night here in Metamora.
As you see on your screen, the sun is setting. Bumping bodies alongside the sideline. Alex Shearer. That one out off Washington. Here's Shearer again. Sends it ahead. Could be a chance for the Redbirds. Sent into the box and sent away. Great play on defense by Colton Burrow.
Yeah, Burrow positioned himself perfectly there in the center of the box to make that play. And again, he's been one of the players for Washington that has been excellent on defense.
That one gets all the way to the keeper. No problem for Tyler Ray. The sun begins to disappear on the horizon. A lot of play revolving around midfield. This one sent all the way to the goalie. Logan Fitz takes his time. Jeff Bates in the vicinity there. He has a throw in. Finds Wiggand. Back around midfield once again. Redbirds look to the opposite side. Alex Shearer was in the area. The officials blow play dead. Say, hold on a minute. That was out of the sideline.
Tell you what, though, that was a good exit from the defensive side of the field by Washington, kind of walking the line on the right side of your screen. And now Metamora will take position and try and get something going here.
Ball bounces just below us. Shifty moves there by Grant Woods. Redbirds developing something here. Not anymore. Mitch Coughlin couldn't keep it in play. Metamora throw in. That one is sent out off of Metamora. Throw in coming from right below us.
Yeah, we're getting
from
some of
Justin Minton.
Getting some of this action, Larry, right in front of us, and we're hearing the intensity on the field. And it's been a fun one so far, and we're going to continue to see that, I think, throughout the remaining 29 minutes of this game.
Still a scoreless draw, but both teams with their opportunities. Mitch Coughlin into the box. Cross play. Redbirds can't clear it. Just in front of the goal. Still out. Another chance. And Washington scores. It's a goal for Grant Woods. 1-0 Panthers.
Oh, my. How about that sequence from Washington? First, it was kept out by, I couldn't tell the number for Metamora, but one of the defenders saved the day for a moment, and then Washington is able to bury it. And again, Larry, we kind of felt like if they just kept pushing and pushing, they're going to break through eventually. And finally, Washington breaks the scoreless draw, and they're on the board first.
Patience pays off for the Panthers. Matt, it seemed like they were knocking on the door once there, twice, 3 times. Maybe the 4th time was the charm. Grant Woods breaks the scoreless tie. Washington ahead in a Mid-Illini Conference battle. They won the conference game between these two sides last year, only to lose to the Redbirds in regionals. Metamora would go on to lose to Dunlap in the regional championship game. Dunlap had a great soccer team last season, fall of 2019.
Feels so long ago, too, Larry.
It does. Same thing with football. We say last season, but last season was a real long time ago. Rivalry renewed here at Metamora Township tonight. See the Redbirds playing with a little more sense of urgency. And Matt, how do you find a balance between sense of urgency and panic, so to speak?
Well, I think a lot of the times you just have to look at the clock, Larry. I mean, they've got 27 minutes left here, roughly. And, you know, I think certainly now is, you know, it is a time of urgency, but I certainly wouldn't go as far as to call it a panic. You know, we've seen Metamora have some chances in this game. And, you know, we'll likely continue to see that over the course of these last 27 minutes, but things are going to happen over time, and you know you don't want to press the panic button until you start getting the final few minutes of this contest.
Ty Mossbach is injured, and he will hobble off the field. Substitution, Ben Tate will come in. And you hear maybe Coach Waters talking to Ty Mossbach. Is it your ankle? He said, yeah. So at least we know it's his ankle. Look to be all right. Headed to the bench. Hope he's okay. Redbirds send it into the box. Ball still in play. Shuttleworth sends it out. And Woods dances upfield for sending the ball upfield. Woods at it again. That time it's out of the sideline.
Ever since that last goal, Larry, though, I think you can certainly, like you were alluding to, is Metamora knows that they now trailing 1-0 in this game, that they need to try and get something going on the offensive side here.
Almost due there, but Will Wegan couldn't get to the ball. Corner kick coming up for the Redbirds. Alex Shearer will send it towards net. There's the boot. Redbirds not able to get a header on it. Now an opportunity for the Panthers. Here comes Mitch Coughlin into the box. Lot of contact. And the call looks like going to be offsides.
I think they're going to give him the penalty here, Larry.
It will be a PK. Too much contact. Mitch Coughlin coming together with Logan Fitz, and now they will go mano a mano. Coughlin, noted as a great attacker by Joe Waters before the game in our discussions with him.
It's like 11 feet away, Larry, on the penalty, of course. Credit Francisco Alonso on that.
Coughlin catching his breath here.
But if you're Washington, I mean, this is a chance to really put a dagger in the Redbirds, so we'll see if they can do it.
Washington's goal came from Grant Woods off a number of deflections. Now it looks like we're ready for the PK. Here we go. Coughlin. It's a save by Fitz.
Oh, my goodness, Larry. What a spectacular save by Fitz. And, I mean, he judged it perfectly. He read it all the way. I mean, that is a textbook save that could change the course of this game.
Spectacular play by the 3-year starter. It's what you'd expect from one of the more experienced players on this Redbird roster. Matt, you said it. Could change the course of this game. Gives the Redbirds a lot of momentum. Down by 1 goal. Shuttleworth gets bowled over. Tackle by Landon Porch. Grant Woods dances upfield. Eddie Pappas was looking for Coughlin, couldn't get it to him. Now the Redbirds chug ahead. Could be a chance here for Wegand. Inside the box, sends it on goal, and it's in! Will Wegand through the grasp of Tyler Ray, and we are tied at 1.
Well, what did I say, Larry? That save gave Metamora the energy that they needed. And Will Wegand just absolutely put on the jets there to get around the defender And it was a tough angle shot that he got off, and it slipped through into the back of the net. And my goodness, I mean, you can just sense the tide has completely changed in this game.
And Matt, it goes back to that PK save by Logan Fitz.
It absolutely does. And you saw all the high fives he was getting from teammates. I mean, they were fired up about it. You know, obviously you could tell they were deflated from giving up that goal, but now they have tied it up. And, man, this game has done a complete 180 of where we were a few minutes ago.
Both goals coming in the second half. First, Washington scored. Grant Woods strike. And Will Wegand responds. What a move by Landon Porch. Probably going to look for Wegand again. Nice play by Washington to make sure something doesn't materialize. Shuttleworth. Now to Woods. Woods tries to chase it down again. There's Wegand. Slips through one defender. Can't slip through another. Washington comes out with possession. Colton Burrow. Ahead to Grant Woods. Contact, but no whistle.
Good by the referees to let that one go.
Wegand wants to chase it down, and offsides is called.
Well, Larry, we talked about how this game has changed over the course of the last few minutes, and I think it goes back to what we were talking about at the start of the half. You know, hey, you can't press the panic button quite yet if you're Metamora, and obviously they didn't. They get the game tied up, and it'll be interesting to see how Washington responds here these next few minutes, because you can bet that Metamora is going to continue to apply that pressure and try and get goal number 2. They nearly had another goal from Wegand right there before it was called offsides.
Brendan Porch. Cross midfield. Deflected away from him. Landon Porch inside the circle. Bryce Calden. Now Porch again. Nice spin move. There's Wegand. Can't create something there. Washington sends it downfield. They were looking for Mitch Coughlin. Couldn't get it to him.
I feel the intensity, though, Larry, picking up. I mean, we've got 21 minutes left in this game. Both teams have a goal, and now this is where you start persevering through whatever you can in this game. And there is some time left, of course, but got to find a way, if you're both these teams, to try and get one of the back of the net here.
Well, Matt, at the beginning of the half, we talked about, you know, that mental fatigue that can sneak in, and you got to figure that Washington is probably the team that's feeling that right now. After they grabbed that 1-goal lead, they had that opportunity to go up 2 goals on the PK, but Coughlin's attempt was saved by Logan Fitz, and that was followed up by a goal by Will Wegand. And now Metamora certainly has the momentum. Ball popped up. Kept in the offensive zone for Metamora. Shearer tried to fight for it. Good defensive play there from Hunter Rodell. Popped out of the sideline.
Yeah, I was going to say the exact same thing, Larry. Good job to step in front of that, force it out of bounds. Now Washington has a chance to try and set something up here.
Substitution for Washington there as Justin Mitten heads to the bench. Redbirds send it ahead. Jacob Crumwide couldn't chase it down.
Whoa, look
A lot
out.
of contact and a big push. Call's going to be on Mitch Coughlin, Matt, and you probably could have called that from your angle.
Yeah, certainly. There was some contact there, and it was the right decision to blow it dead. And obviously, it would have been a nice play for Coughlin if that wasn't called. But now Metamora can breathe a little bit and trying to get something going now on the other end.
Headed off by Ty Mossbach. Back in the game after he was shaken up earlier. Good play by Jack Wynn. Get that out of the box. Play continues near midfield. Mossbach ahead. Gets it back. Pops it up into the box. And a nice snag by Fitz.
Fitz had to reach back a little bit further than he had have wanted there. But nice job to handle it and move it out.
Popped up right towards the press box here. Grant Woods to Win. A nice play made by Jeff Bates. Eddie Pappas jets ahead with it. Sends it into the box and offsides is going to be called.
Yeah, defender there for Metamora, Larry. I couldn't tell the number quite there on the other side of the field, but a defender went down and actually allowed that play to kind of open up for Washington. And so, of course, it was offside, but it could have been a very scary situation there for the Redbirds.
And now it's a free kick. Rodell. Back into a Washington possession. Woods dances and sends it off to Ty Mossbach. Now Mossbach again. Can't keep it in play.
Get a substitution here, Larry, for Metamora. Looks like Mason Walker will come into the game.
Did not see Mason Walker in the first half.
It's where you can maybe take advantage of some of those fresh legs here for Metamora.
Indeed. Metamora rotated through their subs a few more times than Washington did in the first half. See if that pays off here in the second half, but both teams have, needless to say, come out pretty strong. Each side scoring its lone goal in the second frame. A lot of contact there.
You can hear the
parents not happy about that call.
Yeah, it looked like it was off. Couldn't tell who, but now the referees are maybe going to discuss this a little bit. But you could see the some of the parents stand up and say, "Hey, what's that call all about?" So, yeah, they got a better view than we do up here. But referee was right there, so it looks like it'll be Metamora ball.
Washington gets it back near midfield. Nice play there by Harry Hawbaker. Washington with a chance. And you see Eddie Pappas reacts to that shot by putting his hands on his head. Not happy with himself after that one. Had a chance right near the 18-yard box, top of the box.
You could tell Mitch Coughlin wanted that one. I mean, he unfortunately didn't have the right angle, but he was there if it was coming to him. Shearer comes off the field, Larry, for Metamora.
It's like a Washington player ties his shoe, Eddie Pappas, and now he's up. Tied his shoe just in time. One sent away from the box. Now Levi Hernandez is with it. Gets sent out of the sideline. Gets sent ahead into the box. Nice play there by Harry Hawbaker. Made a few nice plays in the last few minutes.
Yeah, Hawbaker's had a really solid couple of minutes, Larry, like you mentioned, making plays with his head, his body, you name it. He's going to do whatever it takes to try and keep this thing even at 1.
Doesn't materialize there for the Redbirds. Looks like a little kid ends up with the soccer ball there.
Little souvenir, except I think he wanted to keep it, it looked like.
Oh, he did a nice job getting it back to the keeper. Maybe Logan Fitz had to do some convincing there. Must be a good salesman.
Wiegand is back in the game, Larry, for Metamora, so we'll keep an eye on him.
There he is. Immediately touches the ball. You got to figure he's going to get a lot of touches. This one comes down to the wire. Wiegand has the Redbirds' only goal in this one. Washington's goal belongs to Grant Woods. Grund into the box. Was looking for Pappas. Woods dances with it. Now it's Pappas. Sends it over the box. William Knight. Chance for Washington. Coughlin was turned away. Coughlin again. Tries to split defenders. Looking for a teammate. Finds one in Grant Woods. Forced to reset a little bit. That one is sent out of the baseline by Jack Wynn.
Give a lot of credit there to Washington for not letting up the pressure. I mean, they just kept applying it and nothing materializes. But you know,
and Matt, that's how we saw their first goal.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, but it was a little reminiscent of that possession.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see how Metamora responds.
Redbirds sent it to the other side.
Whew. Look out. That was Levi Hernandez there, Larry,
indeed.
in the corner, almost making it happen.
Would have been an incredible strike. Hernandez has touched the ball a lot for the Redbirds. Not a starter, but he's been good tonight. Washington will get the free kick here.
We'll see how they respond, too. They've been putting on the gas here the past few minutes, and as you can see, they're already starting to get some of those players right around the box area. So this is a chance for them to take the lead.
Nice kick into the box. Slide. Oh, just off the post. Mitch Coughlin. Oh, so close.
He's been buzzing around the net, Larry, the entire night, and he almost made it happen there. And, man, if you're Washington, you're just thinking, man, we were so close. Just some post in the way to prevent them from getting their second goal of the game.
Maybe even if that hit on the other side of the post, it would have gone in.
Yes.
What could have been? Washington has applied a lot of pressure these last few minutes, though, Matt. So you got to figure they've started to swing the momentum back in their favor. So we're under 10 minutes to play. Both goals in this one coming in the second half. Washington scored first. Metamora followed after a PK stop by Logan Fitz. That really helped them turn the tide. They turned that into a goal by Will Weigand. Coughlin blocked, sent out of the box by the Redbirds. Washington stays with it. Good battle by Eddie Pappas. Doesn't really result in anything, though. Great play by William Knight. Bicycle kick. Oh, my.
Oh, man, Larry.
Mitch Coughlin almost with a Sports Center-worthy play there, but sends it wide.
You don't see a lot of bicycle kicks at the high school level. I mean, it takes a lot to pull that off, and gave it a very good effort. I mean, man, that, like you mentioned, that would have had Sports Center top 10 written all over it.
Would have had to have Joey Wright get on that one, clipping that up, sending it to Sports Center. Washington, though, they're just focused on winning this one. Nice move by Pappas. Into the box again. Ben Tate sends it wide. So many opportunities for Washington these last few minutes.
Yeah, they keep pressing right now, Larry, and if you're Metamora, you've got to find a way to get some sustained pressure here on the offensive side of the field, because it just feels like they've been stuck in or around the box the last few minutes. And, you know, we've seen they can change the tide, but they've got to find something right now to do so.
Pappas with a nice play. Take it away from the Redbirds. Sends it upfield, and Metamora will have a throw-in.
Under 8 minutes to go now, Larry, so we're getting down to next goal wins territory, it feels like, but obviously anything can happen, and I think we've got a good finish, though, certainly coming.
Tell your friends, if you like good soccer, get to ClutchSportsIL.com. Mid-Illini Conference rivalry doesn't get better than this. Washington, Metamora coming down to the wire. And a whistle. Once again, it's Brendan Porch on the ground, and Matt, we saw him banged up in the first half.
Yes, we did. I think he'll be okay here, just a little shaken up and obviously in some pain. I think he's going to stay in the game here, which is a good sign for Metamora. Just needed a minute to shake that one off.
And it hurts even worse in the cold.
Yes, it does.
And it's starting to get a little chilly, Matt.
Yeah, my hands could use some mittens right about now.
Sent in on the box, deflected away. Rolls out of the baseline. We'll see what the call is. It'll be a corner.
Big opportunity here for Metamora, Larry. You can completely change the tide here with a good opportunity.
First chance in a while for the Redbirds. Hernandez into the box on the ground, and it's sent away just to the top of the box. Brendan Porch handles it. It's knocked down again. Redbirds can still make something happen. Hernandez is looking for a teammate. Now it gets sent past midfield. Good clear by Washington. Now they try to make something happen. Woods lost it in the open field there. Porch dances with it, sends it to the top of the box, and a good play by Tyler Ray to come out and scoop that one up before the speedster Wiggin could get to it.
Going back to that last sequence, Larry, Bryce Clawden with a really good defensive play from Metamora.
Great play on the defensive side for Washington there. William Knight. Panthers send it into the box, but nothing materializes.
We're just at about the 5-minute mark here, Larry, so intensity, if it wasn't high enough, it certainly will be these next 5 minutes.
Little play out of bounds there. Jack Wynn tossed it in. Now the Redbirds will have an opportunity to toss it in. Substitution for the Redbirds. Griffin Hammond checks into the game. Play can't seem to get away from this sideline. Hernandez tosses it into Wiggin. Washington with a throw-in now. We'll have another throw-in. Washington with the chance here. Something developing, and Coughlin had nothing but the keeper in front of him.
Just rolled off his foot there, Larry. We've seen that a lot from him tonight. He's been just terrific in the offensive box, and nothing going for him there.
Wigan tried to battle for it. Popped up. Now it looks like Wigan's down a little bit.
Not a good sign for Metamora.
Ball sent towards the box, and Tyler Ray scoops it up. Approaching the 3-minute mark now. There's Mitch Coughlin, tries to send it over the keeper, a big collision, and this one will roll out of the baseline.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man. Another chance for Washington, all for naught.
Well,
there will be a corner.
Guess who it is, Larry, on that scoring chance? Mitch Coughlin, and he tried to head that one in there and nearly made it happen, but again, the pressure by Washington just keeps coming and coming, and it's coming in waves right now, too, with 2:38 to go.
Cameron Grund, the corner. And who was it again? Mitch Coughlin was off balance, couldn't put it on net.
If I'm Metamora, I'm pushing the pace a little bit harder than we have these last few minutes to try and get some players to the box area, and we'll see what we get happening here.
No overtime. So if this one ends at 1-1 in regulation, it will end there. And Matt, there are a few things worse than tying your rival.
Yeah, I would agree with that statement, Larry. That nobody comes out happy. Nobody goes home sad. So, yeah, I would agree with that statement. These teams do not want to end in a draw here today.
Regardless, it has been a phenomenal match. Washington with an opportunity here as the clock winds down. William Knight. Looked like Tate was tripped up. Redbirds try to send it out. Ball still at the top of the box. Ends up right towards Wynn. Now Levi Hernandez. Chugs across midfield. Good play by Washington. Grant Woods. A lot of contact. And that'll be a penalty.
Well, that you mentioned, Larry, there was a lot of contact by Brendan Porch, and they're going to blow it dead for the free kick here. And
oh, the drama.
The drama indeed. Under a minute to go, and here's your scoring chance that you've been looking for if you're Washington. Probably maybe their last opportunity to get into the back of the net here.
Under a minute. This could be it. William Knight, the senior, his final season for Washington against rival Metamora. One approach won't be enough. Gonna try it again. Sends it into the box, and it's over. Too much. Sails over the hair of Cameron Grund. It's near midfield. Might take a miracle. As the anticipation grows.
A lot of unhappy players on the Metamora bench, Larry, about that foul call, but I think it was the right one.
And that will end it.
Boy, what a wild ending that was.
Wow. Both sides probably a little disappointed with that ending, Matt. Washington with the chance. Metamora then with an ensuing chance right around midfield, but they couldn't quite get it to the box. And this one ends in a 1-1 draw. And, Matt, we talk about the Washington-Metamora rivalry in all these sports. You know, you name it, football, basketball, baseball, softball, volleyball. None of those sports can end in a draw.
No, they can't. Yeah, certainly if you're any of the players on either of these teams, you're unhappy you weren't able to come away with with a winner, but nonetheless, I mean, I think tonight Larry showed why that these teams are so evenly matched. Obviously, battling for a conference title in a year where there is no postseason, and both of these teams put on a great game here tonight, Larry. I mean, it took us a little bit to get some of that action going, but once it did, you felt the intensity pick up, and it was a great contest to watch.
Very closely contested all the way. Both goals coming in the second half of action. Washington struck first. Grant Woods off a number of deflections, put it on the top shelf where the kids can't get it, as they say. And then Metamora not scored, but not before. Washington had the chance to go up 2-0 on a penalty kick, but Logan Fitz was able to save it. And then the Redbirds turned around, and they scored a goal. It was Will Wegand sending it just through the grasp of Tyler Ray. Matt, your final thoughts on this one?
Well, I think, Larry, for both teams, this is a learning opportunity to get ready for these last couple games of the season here. And obviously, you know, we've talked about how each of these teams would have liked to come out with a win, but I think both teams are better because of what happened today. And, you know, it's little adjustments that you make over the course of a season that can make a difference. But both these teams know that there's a very good possibility that they could win a conference title here in the Mid-Illini Conference. So today was a prime example of two good soccer teams going at it, and unfortunately couldn't get a winner. But that's just kind of how it goes sometimes, and we saw a great contest between these two tonight.
A hard-fought battle ends in no result tonight in Metamora. That just about wraps it up for this presentation of Mid-Illini Conference Soccer on Clutch Sports Media. For our entire crew, Francisco Alonso behind the camera, Joey Wright at the controls and on social media, and my partner Matt Harrington, I'm Larry Larson saying so long and good night from Metamora Township High School. Thank you for joining us, and we'll talk to you on Friday night for some high school football.